Sitting since 2000 something. Whatever you said last time.
We don't remember when. Sitting for a long time because sitting is civilized.
Do you ever stand for your mix?
No.
Never?
I mean, I'll get up and walk over to where, maybe I'll walk over to where the crowd is next to the barricade just to try and get out of this perspective and go to their perspective sometimes. Take it out of the mixing element and try to watch and listen as a fan.
Even when Enrique comes and stands on your...
No, there was no reason to stand up.
We're back. It's about a year later.
Yes, it is.
We are in Atlanta, I think, today.
Yep.
If you guys don't know Brad, Brad's amazing. He runs sound for Disturbed, does Enrique Iglesias. Who else have you done?
I've done Garbage, Bob Seger, Motley Crue, Jane's Addiction.
If you want to
Cyndi
see
Lauper.
his more of his video, we'll put a link below to his original video. But we're here a year later, and I kind of want to see, like, is it anything new? Is it the same copy paste? What are we doing?
We are doing a couple of new things this
Okay.
time around. I mean, my philosophy has always been, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But you can like add a few things in and see what happens, and that's kind of what I chose to do this time.
Okay.
And the major change with the rack this time would be the addition of some Stam audio pieces,
Okay.
and also the Rupert Neve Master Bus Transformer. It's kind of like this is kind of the major change, because coming out of the summing mixer now with all the music, I take it into this and I can finesse it just a tiny bit more and then go back into the desk and where it hits left, right after that.
If you guys haven't tried this MBT, it's nuts, man. The first time I heard it and tweaked it, it was cool until you hit that.
So till you turn it off, you're
And it was like,
oh, from happy face to sad face.
So where do you have that MBT on?
The MBT is actually on the whole music bus.
Okay.
So all the music, drums, bass, guitar, the mixing bits, the fancy bits, all coming out of the summing mixer into this. Everything music related, everything but vocals is going into that, and then from there back into the desk. The other new addition, which I'm really keen on, is the stereo Pultec from Stam Audio. I will stand for this one because you got to get a close-up of that shot right there.
Yeah, that thing's huge.
Yep, and they also added the mid-band from the Meek 5. It's also got mastering grade knobs as well as tube and solid state outputs. And that's on left, right. So that right there, just warm and fuzzy.
Okay, from these shows, is it, when you start a new tour, do you start from scratch? Is it kind of a copy from when you ended the tour going into the next one? So a year later, is it still the same essential file from before, and you kind of just keep tweaking with that?
Yeah, always start with the same file. Obviously, there's a couple new additions up on stage with the addition of a second drum kit because they're doing the Sickness record, and then they go into the greatest hits after that. So we've got two different drum kits, but it's pretty much copy paste and then tweak from there. Find out what's different, because again, everything was good last time. We keep it the same and then we move on from there.
Were you doing the 2 drum kits last time?
No, just 1 drum kit.
Yeah, this time you have a break and then switch to the other drum kit. Walk me through that a little bit.
Well, the first set is the Sickness record in its entirety. And Mikey's playing the same kit that he did on that tour. Same exact drum kit. Then it takes like a 20-minute intermission and we go over to the greatest hits side, and that's a full-on drum kit like he was using last tour with 3 toms, 3 floor toms, just a much bigger kit. And then that's for the greatest hits.
Wow.
Same microphones, same everything.
Okay. Same, just copy paste to that one
Just copy paste and then adjust for the different toms. Different tom sizes.
Yeah.
You know.
Anything else different with this tour?
Uh, Not so much. I mean, it's pretty much the same as it was last time around,
Yeah.
with the addition of 2 sets. And
Who you
yeah,
got? Who do you have as openers on this one? Direct
on
support.
this one we have Nothing More and Daughtry.
What is the coolest new trick you've learned recently?
The coolest new trick. That's a good question. I feel like a lot of times I just try stuff just to see what happens, and then I'm like, oh, well, I like that. I mean, I'm always watching YouTube clips of people talking about gear and how they do things, and then I try it to see if it would work, or maybe it's something that I haven't thought of before. But as far as, I don't know. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
you know, the band plays, the room fills up, the crowd yells and screams. You know, watch the band move the faders around and mix
Yeah.
a show.
I know one thing we didn't do last time. Can you walk us through your setup and how you have the console?
We didn't talk about that last time.
No, we didn't.
Interesting.
I
Okay.
don't think we did.
Well, we're going to do it again.
All right. Let's do that.
So, we're going to start from the beginning and try and make it quick.
Okay.
So, everything, drums are all bused to a VCA, bass, guitar, everything goes to VCAs because that is pretty much the heart of where I mix from every night. Now, in addition to VCAs, we've got all the perspective inputs going into groups. So we've got all the drum kit going to a group. We've got kick, snare, and toms going to a parallel drum group. Bass, guitar, the noisy bits, which are the track elements, backing vocals, and then I have a parallel bus for David as well. So we've got all David's inputs, one input going to this, second input into this, and then it's a blend. It's parallel compression on vocals, parallel compression on drums. I've got some parallel compression on the bass guitar being done from the insert. So from there, all of this, along with all the effects being assigned to the respective groups, are hitting the summing mixer. So now we've got the same thing here as we've got over here. We've got drums, we've got the parallel, we've got bass guitar, the track elements, David's vocals, his parallel vocal chain, and background vocals. So all music goes into A, all vocals go into B. And then, which we talked about earlier, all the music comes into the summing mixer, into the master bus transformer, and from there, back into a stereo input of the console. All the vocals get routed over to a pair of EQs, along with the parallel chain, which is right here, the pair of distressors, and all of that comes back into the vocal input on the console. Then from these two, bus those over to left-right, and left-right sees some more compression, EQ, saturation with the cream liner, and then SPL big for stereo imaging. Just a little bit on the imaging. That is pretty much it in a nutshell. Seems complicated, but it's fairly simple.
One other thing I want to talk about is this. Tell me a little bit about the Fixin' to Get Mixin'.
Fixin' to Get Mixin'.
Yes.
Okay, Fixin' to Get Mixin'. The story behind this is I was working with Garbage in 2012, and I was coming into rehearsal every day early before the band would get there. I would spend the day recording everything that they rehearsed. Next day I would come in early and sit and dial the mix in. So one day the tour manager's like, he's like, "Why are you here so early?" And I'm like, "I'm fixing to get mixing." And that was the beginning of all this. So 3 years later, I decided to form my own company. And I'm like, I need a name for the company. I know, Fixing to Get Mixing. And it just kind of fits. And now it's like, because that's what I do.
Yeah. And that's your company, correct?
That's my company. It's just me. You know, I've done classes with JBL
Yeah.
Harmon, talking about what I do, and that's just it. You know, got a YouTube channel, Instagram, all that, because I still play. So Fixing to Get Mixin is also my, you know, my musicianship days, and then I record everything and mix it and do videos.
I'll put all those links below. So if you want to follow him and his career, go to the Fix and Get Mixin. We'll put the YouTube stuff below. Look at how pretty. Yeah.
Right here, right here. Fix and Get Mixin. Trademark, so you can't steal it.
I mean, you could, but
You could,
yeah,
but why would you want to?
you wouldn't want to do that. Thank you so much for your time.
You're
man.
welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure. Look at that.
We did it.
One take.
But wait,
There's
more.
There's
There's
always more. There's always more to talk about.
We're talking a little bit off camera. I wanted to hit record and talk a little bit more about this, but the benefit thing you're doing. Tell me about it. What is it? Why are you doing it? Sorry, I'm not playing footsies.
It was kneesies, actually.
Kneesies.
It's kind of the same, only different. So the benefit, it was the recovery benefit, Ladders to Leaders recovery benefit. And this was all the brainchild of my wife. And it stemmed from, I got sober 6 years ago. My wife is sober 4 years ago. And she's become the president of this nonprofit group called Ladders to Leaders. And they provide recovery homes for people getting out of rehab. So last year, some point last year, well, it had to be early in the year. It's probably around January of last year. She's like, hey, I got this idea. She's like, it'd be you, Shannon Larkin, and Bob Perret and Brian Forsyth. So everybody knows who Shannon Larkin is, who I played with for 10 years in my old band, Wrathchild. And Bob Perret and Brian Forsyth are from the band Kicks, who I also played with. And she's like, and we're going to do this benefit. We're going to do it at the Maryland Theater in Hagerstown. All the proceeds are going to be donated to Ladders to Leaders. And I'm like, oh man, so you want me to get back up on stage after not being on stage since like 1998. And you want me to play some cover tunes? And I'm like, well, I thought about it for a little bit. And I'm like, let me call everybody and see what they say. And the first call was to Shannon. And he's like, hell yeah, let's do it. He's like, to get back up on stage with you after all these years, he's like, that would be awesome. So, you know, it's like I called Brian and Bob, and everybody was like, yeah, let's do it. So we did it. You know, we had a year to prepare. We had 3.5 days to rehearse, which we did at my house. And then I walked on stage and performed kind of like I did the last time I was on stage, but a little less movement, because now I'm older and I don't want to feel terrible the next day. But it turned out to be a big success, and so we're going to do it next year, January 10th. Same time, same location, Hagerstown, Maryland Theater.
My biggest question, who ran sound?
That was my friend Bob Rinaldi,
Okay.
who has a JBL VTX A8 rig, and he does a lot of gigs at the theater. And plus, I've worked with him and his son at my studio. And his son just completed courses at Blackbird and Claire Global, the live side of mixing in Nashville. So with Bob and Nathan being there, I was like, you know what? You guys are the ones who should do this show. I know everybody was like, who are you going to get to mix? Who are you going to get to mix? I'm like, I'm thinking about playing and singing. I'm going to leave it up to those guys. And I tried to stay out of it as much as I could.
Yeah.
But there were times where I would, because my friend Tom Durr from Allen and Heath, he sent a D5, a D Live, to my house so we could have it during rehearsal.
That's
and of
awesome.
course, Bob and Nathan are in my studio, and you know, after rehearsal, I would go down there doing things, and I'd just try to listen to hear what they were doing. And of course, I had to throw my 2 cents in. Why are you doing that? How about let's take that from a bell to a shelf? Like, I just could not stay out of it. But he already knew I was going to get involved. But in the end, it turned out great. And it was so much fun to be on stage again and not be on this side of things, because that's where I started, was on stage.
Yeah.
And when I walked away from that, I kind of shut that part of my life out. And then the pandemic, and with encouragement from my wife, reminding me that I had a studio and I could call my friends to come and play and record with me. that's how it all happened. And now I'm to the point, you know, I'm to the point now where I look at things differently. And when you said before, like, what has changed? I guess what has changed is my perspective of mixing again, because it made me realize that the musician part of me will always come out in the mix. And I treat every mix like it's a performance, you know, which I kind of forgot about for a while.
Yeah.
And then getting back up on stage made me realize it's like you take that same part of you right here every night. Like, it just will not ever leave me.
That's awesome.
So every show is like a performance.
It's interesting with doing all this video stuff that people have asked me, is it weird doing that? Because sometimes I'll have this camera guy like we do here. He's amazing. Thank you, Kyle. You're awesome. But a lot of this I have to kind of do myself. I've noticed that doing the video stuff is kind of, it's the same spot in my brain of being technical and artistic as well. So I can see the similarity of like, you're still artistic with this, even though being technical with it. The sobriety, I haven't been shy about that on this channel. Has been a big part of my story, and I'm very passionate about that. It's been cool to see all the new trends of non-alcoholic beer, all that cool stuff, and I really love to plug anything or any resources like that. Because on the road and music industry, it's not like it was 10 years ago. It's shifted a bit, and it's not so I wouldn't say frowned upon, but the environment has changed a little bit. So
yeah, it has changed.
If anybody wants to get connected with that or with your wife, that sounds weird, but with your wife's company, where can they go for that?
That would be laddersleaders.org.
Okay.
Is the website for the nonprofit.
Okay.
And then through, you know, Fixin' to Get Mixin' and all that, or my wife, Alicia Divens. You'll find her on Facebook, and, you know, she's a I'm going to try not to get sappy here for a second, but she's a huge part of why I've been so successful in what I do now. It's the encouragement from her.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's awesome. So if you guys are curious about that, hit him up, hit me up, hit his wife up.
Yep.
Please do it.
January 10th, 2026, Maryland Theater, Hagerstown, Maryland.
Boom.
There we go.
Now we're done.
Now we're done.